everyone, welcome back to part 23 of creating a Rolex Sky Dweller inside of Maya 2018 and then texturing it in KeyShot. So in today's episode we're going to be editing some of these parts actually, and so what we're going to do first is select all of them that are polygon versions. Did I never convert that? Okay, I did. Select all of these and then do center pivot so that these all have their pivots centered and on the middle of who knows where. And I'm going to do control 1 on this one right here, and then that way we isolate it and go mesh fill hole. I'm going to close my outliner as well. That way both of these are fixed, and then I'm going to select both of those faces and do control E to extrude, and I'm going to bring them in to there, maybe bring them back a bit so they're about like the center. And I'm going to, select these faces in the middle. Why is that one like that? That's because it's different, never mind. Put that about the middle, and then select both of them and go to Edit Mesh, Poke, and then press through to preview our smooth for that, so that looks great. And then I'm going to do Control 1 again to unisolate this. I'm going to delete that one, and then I actually shouldn't have reset the pivots, but I'm going to put this back to the middle of Maya land. In fact, I think that's the middle of Maya land. And I'm going to duplicate this over to the other side with a -1 on the scale X, so that both those pieces basically have sides now, because right now they're just empty things, you can see through them. So I'm going to do control 1 on this guy, and then go to mesh fill. Whoops, what did I press even? Mesh fill hole. I select these faces here, and then control E to extrude, and then press R, and then just scale them in, something like that in the middle, and then go to Edit Mesh, Poke, and press through to preview that smooth. Perfect. Press Control S to save, and then Control 1 to get out of here. Now we need to do that to this piece, so Control 1. And I'm going to select the model here, mesh fill hole. Select these edges, Control E, R, and then scale them in, and then poke them. Okay. So then press preview smooth. That works perfectly. Control 1. Gonna delete this one. Take this one. Press D to center our pivot, and then press Control D to duplicate it, and then scale it -1 on the Y. Select this one right here, Control 1, mesh, fill hole, select the faces, Control E. I'm doing this a bit faster because we already did this a billion times. About there, edit mesh, poke, Control 1, see the smooth, perfect. Now we have those things worked out. I'm going to look at this, and we're going to attempt to, let's see, realize another issue here, this laid in. This needs to all be kind of like, let's see, needs to all be facing completely straight basically, so I'm going to attempt to select all of these faces down here, or vertices actually, and scale these in to make it a straight line. Whoops. And then bring it out, and then do that again. Push that to about here. And of course, things happen that I don't like, so let's see, what can we do for this? Although, let's just see something. If I duplicate that, and then bring it forward, that makes a problem. It does make a problem. Maya. Okay. Control Z. I'm gonna figure this thing out 1 second. Okay, it won't be too much of an issue. I found out that's something we can do for this. So what we're gonna want to do is create the finished links for this. So we're gonna need to select this middle piece that we created, and then do Control D, and then move that over to like here, and then scale this down till it's about the same size as that first link, and this is going to be positioned right about here, and then I'm going to duplicate that over to, actually it's going to be negative, whatever this value is, so negative, and I'm going to see this, and we're going to, actually I don't need that one over there, I'm going to go to edit, um, duplicate special, and this translate Z right here, I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it into, I'm going to paste it into this value right here, so that is my translate Z, and we don't need 71 copies, we need 4 copies, and then hit apply, and something did not work. Let me see why that did not work. Oh, that's because my rotation here was at something weird, so I'm just going to put that to 0. Make sure that was like that, and then if we hit duplicate, that should have worked. Let's see what happened here. Let's try and duplicate this guy actually. Push that over to here, and then take that value and put that into, actually no, let's take that same value and try with 3 and then hit apply. Okay, well that's annoying. So we might have to do these basically by hand, so that's fine though, but just annoying. So you want these to each be a bit, like I have a tiny bit of space between them, but not that much, because these are moving components in real life, so about like here. Sorry that these tutorials had a few mistakes in them. I mean, it'll turn out looking great anyways, so we should have 6 links now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one needs to have a centered pivot. So that's what I want, and then I want this on the other side too. So I'm going to select all of these. Whoops. Select all of them, and hit Control D, and then scale this over to negative whatever. And then I want to do the same thing basically that we did with those with this one. So I'm going to select that one and go to edit, duplicate special, and change this one to, let's just hit let's try 4 here and just hit apply. I think I need more actually. Okay, yep. We're going to want to have 4 copies of this and just hit apply. And then, actually let's try and put like 5 or something in here. How about 7 or something, just to help me do this a bit quicker. Alright, didn't help at all, but let's just do this anyways. So, let's try and have the same amount of gap between all of these, so, to like there, and then about there, and then push that up to here, and then here. Okay, so this is basically putting our poly count way up, just so you know. But I'm going to press 1. I'm going to save this, and you should probably like really save a lot at these points, because it depends what kind of computer you have, but it'll really start slowing down soon, so beware of that. So now, so sorry all these pauses, I'm just checking something. What we're gonna do, I think we're gonna end this episode off here because we did quite a bit, and the next thing what we're gonna do is change this drastically. So I'm gonna end this episode off here. In the next episode, we will use a bend deformer to make this kind of have like the watchish look, because watches are not spread out like this. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe.